title of this particular broadcast is called The Next Node. And why is this called The Next Node? Because that's exactly where we're headed. We're headed to the next node. Every 2 years or a year and a half to 2 years, I should rather say, we go through a different shift in cycles. We go through a different nodal shift. And if you are familiar with programs, each point of computers and programming, each point of contact, each point that connects to the other are called nodes or nodules, nodes. And so we're headed into the next nodule, the next node, the nodal shift. And this shift is coming with Pisces being in the north node and Virgo being in the south node. Some may be asking and wondering and inquiring about what the heck is a north node, a south node, or a node altogether. So, your south node is your karmic energy, it's your past life energy, it's the energy that you have mastered, it's the characteristics that one tends to go back to if they aren't headed in the right direction as far as focusing on their future. The south node is something that is connected to our comfort zone, something that we tend to go back to when we are reverting, or how do you say, when you want to retreat, when we retreat from or go recluse. That's the other R word that I was looking for. When we retreat and go recluse from things that have been bothering us or that has not been aligning with our energy, we tend to go back to our south node. But right now, currently, we're still in the last moments, the last minutes, the last seconds of the Aries North Node, Libra South Node. Now, I'm just going to tap in a little bit about this energy before I get into the full energy of where we're headed. Now, just to piggyback where I left off on the last video with um, the 1212 portal, when I got into Metatron's sacred geometry, the meaning in the behind the sacred number of 12 and its connection to so many different things. And I left off with the 12 laws and the 12 keys, which in actuality is 13 keys and 13 laws. And so today I'm going to address two of the 12 laws when it pertains to the laws of karma. So we have 12 laws of karma. And right now we're in the karmic law of personality, which is the Aries being the north node. Aries is the individuality, the individual, therefore the identity. And that's our personality, how we identify ourselves with the public, our identity. So that is where we are currently and where we're about to leave, with the South Node being in Libra. This phase was all about bringing everything into full perspective and making sure that we are aligned to start fulfilling our prophecies. This is about having our own opinions and cultivating and creating our own thought process, our own path, our own creations. This was about taking risks. This was about facing society head on and all of its cruelty, and persevering and enduring all that entails. This is this phase with the Libra being in the South Node was about reconnecting with family and strengthening that lost connection that some of us may have had. This was about making choices for ourselves, for our own personal convictions, and not because others wanted us to. This whole Aries Libra nodal shift was to get us back into our own frame of thought and action. This particular karmic phase of personality is also nicknamed or referred to as the pushover phase or the follower phase. And this was to help us get out of that pushover follower me too syndrome. If you hadn't noticed, the last 2 years was a hike and an elevation in the whole me too movement. People doing things because someone else was doing it and wanting to be a part of that moment. So that is the information about the shift where we currently are and where we're about to leave. Now we're headed into the one of the 12th karmic laws of faith, because we're dealing with Pisces. Pisces deals with the 12th house, and that 12th house is the house of spirituality. So, with Pisces being in the North Node, this is going to highlight our spiritual endeavors, our spiritual beliefs, our spiritual practices, our faith. In this particular phrase, or phase, I should say, is often referred to as the critical phase. And so now, you guys, my fellow kindred, we are in a critical phase in our lives. We have hit a critical time during this spiritual warfare that is currently going on, that is only going to get worse now that some of the five doors have been opened. And I can do another video getting deep into the hold five doors, the meaning behind it, the symbolization, what that entails, what those five doors are, and all of that. I have my doctorate degree in sacred theology. Therefore, I have esteemed knowledge in all of the major and hidden religions, as well as their ritualistic practices. In addition to that, I am also an ordained minister, or I should say, an ordained official. I have a thing with alliteration, so an ordained official. Therefore, I am licensed to perform as well as have knowledge of all of these different ritualistic practices. Doesn't mean that I perform or practice, but I have to have knowledge and understanding of them all. Now, getting into that, this is the phase in our life, this critical moment where we start to learn from our past lives and immerse our past life energies and our comforts and our masteries to our current destinies and purpose. This phase, this next shift is about logic and reasoning. This is about being present in the moment. This is about learning how to have faith and learning how to believe in what is not seen, aka the metaphysical things of life, the esoterica of it all. This is not the time to be rigid, but this is the time to acquire the skills of our past lives and use them to criticize, judge, analyze, and highlight ourselves in all aspects of growth. This is also a phase that is going to bring forth a lot of surprises. This is also going to stir up disorder. Whenever there is exposure of the truth and a breakdown and a fall of corruptive forces, there's going to be disorder or discord. So be prepared for some unexpected surprises and an array of disorder to arise. But one must remain vigilant and be prepared for the shift ahead. Now, a little bit more before I get into the slides of it all. Your North Node, that's the head of the moon, aka in Chinese astrology or Chinese beliefs, the North Node is the head of the dragon. Keep in mind, we're dealing with serpent energy, the dragon, Kundalini energy. That Kundalini energy is also that DNA helix. It's also that spiral of consciousness. So back to the North Node. The North Node is also referred to as the head of the dragon. And if the North Node is referred to as the head of the dragon, then that means that the South Node is referred to as the tail of the dragon. So the North Node or the dragon's head is what we are here to learn. It is where we are at the present moment. And it highlights all of the skills and the tools that we have in order that we have in need to change and to grow. Our our North Node, sounding like Pinky from Pinky and the Brain. No, anyhow, our North Node symbolizes how we seek balance, how we find balance, how we came to learn the lessons that we are to learn, and the path in which we are headed will be highlighted through that North Node. Now, when it comes to our South Node, the tail of the dragon or the dragon's tail, that's where we came from. That's our past. That's what was and what we're used to. And oftentimes it is a reminder of our downfall, how we ended the past life, how we transitioned from the past life is usually, not usually, is highlighted in that southern node, that south node. It can be what we do well or what we do bad, depending on the situation. It also is about our deeply rooted personality. A lot of times that it feels like I've known you, that deja vu, that's coming from our south node. That whole I know you from somewhere. I've met you from somewhere. You look familiar. You sound familiar. Yes, in another lifetime. And so we're looking at this shift here. The sun and the moon, the north and the south node, the head and the tail of the dragon. The south node, the north node, and it rotates on a ecliptical around the sun. And depending on the hemisphere, depends on which nodal shift you are experiencing, because everything flips when we hit the other hemisphere. So again, with our south node, it's about our desires to evolve, and this is where we can find our attachment issues and our fears. All of those derive from our south node. So now getting into the specifics. I got into what a north node is and what a south node is. But this video isn't about north nodes and south nodes. It's about the Pisces north node and the Virgo south node. This again is our critical error. This is the critical moment. So now here's a little chart and a little graph for you guys to follow along and screenshot or wherever it is that you may need to do to grasp understanding and enlightenment in regards to the whole North Node, South Node, Virgo, Pisces thing. So, again, the South Node is in Virgo. This is all about our subconscious. This is about our beliefs and our need to serve. This is about the ending of being selfish. This is about being balanced with your workload, not taking on too much, not doing too much, but doing what's necessary. Virgo is the analyzer, the analytic. Virgo is a hard worker, very good with coming up with ways to do things in a more innovative manner, but it's also a perfectionist energy. And with this South Node being in Virgo, being overworked and being extra or going over the top and being hypercritical is something that is going to arise in a lot of us, especially if you are natively born under this nodal shift. A lot of individuals will begin to feel like they aren't enough and that they aren't valued. And then there are going to be some that will finally get the recognition, the respect, the value that they need. With the North Node being in Pisces, this is the opportunity to forgive ourselves. And whenever we're dealing with the North Node shift, the okay, my mic had just went out, but as difficult as it may be, as frustrating as it may be, this is the time to make sure that we are forgiving ourselves and forgiving others. I'm not sure when the audio went out, so I'm just gonna kind of go back over. So for the South Node with Virgo, it's about our subconscious, making sure that we are fulfilling that desire to serve, that we aren't having that feeling of not being valued or worthy. Okay, I had to switch mics. I don't know how long this one will last, but let me hurry up and try to get this out the way. But not just being so overly critical with ourselves. With the Pisces North Node, forgiving ourselves, forgiving others, being more gentle with ourselves and with others, being more compassionate, being more empathetic with others and ourselves as well. Feeling more. Pisces is a compassionate sign. Hey, you guys, the mic went out. The volume is, well, the battery is dead, so this won't last long. But this is the hardest nodal shift. This is about our past lives, and it's about pursuing the pleasures in life on a spiritual and metaphysical level. And nothing is black and white during this phase. This is about finding that silver lining, that gray area. Our intuition to guide us. I'm trying to hurry up and finish this through with a little bit of mic energy that I have left. And so that was with the Pisces North Node. So with the Virgo South Node, I kind of already. I'm gonna go ahead and conclude this video. I hope you found this very informative. Before this battery close, like and subscribe and click the bell so that you get notified whenever I go live or upload new content. I'm casting out. This is Dr. Kaz, the Cosmic Kinect, Pacini de Grey, on this nodal shift, the next node. Until next time.